Hello everyone, it's Kim from Vintage Vikings and welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a crafty day. So today I just wanted to show you a few more of the Christmas junk journals that I've been working on and that I'm going to be adding to my Etsy store, which you will be able to look in the description for the address if you wanted to grab a couple of them to send off to your friends and family. But let's get started. Let's move these aside and we'll show you a different style than the other ones that I was working on. These two are very, very similar. Instead of having a tassel, these have a wraparound style closure. And these tended to be a little bit on the smaller side, so I opted to not put the tassel on, but add the little wraparound closure. This is a raffia that I used as the wraparound, and these are glass pony beads. They're very, very similar, so I'm just going to do one. They both have pockets and tags, so let's just do one of these. And the way I attached these is I just ran the raffia right through where I put the signatures in. They are not detachable unless you want to feed them back through the signature strings, and then you can take them off. Otherwise, they would just stay attached. So let's get started and go through this one. Again, this one is a small one. All of the dimensions, the signature size, everything is going to be, I'm going to make this a little closer maybe. All of this will be in the Etsy shop. So let's get started here. So again, like my other ones, I add a thick cardstock, scrapbook paper type print on the inside to stiffen the cards up and make them just a little bit more sturdy for all the use they're going to get through the holidays. A little candy cane paper clip. It's a belly band, but I just thought these little letters to Santa cards, again, you can move it around and add whatever you would like or whatever the recipient would like inside. And then so it doesn't move around too much, I thought just putting a little clip on there would be nice. A little present from Santa, since this is a very traditional Santa themed style. This one is just a present tag that you can write. And this actually came from a Christmas present, Christmas box, the ones that come in the package with, they're all folded up. It got bent and crushed on one side, so I thought let's go ahead and just turn it into a little tag. And then a fun little Christmas trivia card in this front pocket. Again, you can put whatever you want to in it. Sometimes I round the corners, sometimes I don't. It all depends on what my signature looks like and the assortment of pages. It makes it a little easier sometimes when you've got the pointy corners and the rounded corners. It sometimes helps make it easier to flip through it. A little green cardstock. I had a brick stencil that I never thought I was going to use, and still I started working on Christmas journals. And then I took some of the Christmas stocking scrapbook paper that I had as a tiny little piece, and I added it into along the top to make it look like a chimney, or a hearth, I guess, fireplace. Some reindeer, continuing with the Santa theme. Some those little pages in the scrapbook paper that you don't know what to do with all the stripes. They make for great pages because it really ties all of the different colors in to your journal. And then we're getting to the middle, and I found these adorable little Christmas sweater notepads. So I thought, oh, let's just put that in here as the middle of the signature. And then again, when we go to the back side of the signature, the pages will match to the other side. And again, I try to leave these as thin as possible because they're already chunky enough for a Christmas card. And then if they get too chunky, you're not going to want to carry them around. I glued a little vintage Santa down as a just a little fun spot. I didn't make it much of a tuck just because it's already so thick in that spot. Just a little point of interest there. Again, oops, I left a little corner in there. That's the nice thing about doing a flip through. You can go back and catch all your little mistakes. And then this envelope had a really nice little lined effect on the inside, but then I went ahead and covered over the top of it with some cardstock so that you didn't get the little edges all flipping up from the envelope. And then I liked the sentiment, so I left it the way it was. And then I added a little Santa tag on the inside with a little matching tag behind it. So you can write on one, and then another one you can take and move and put it anywhere in the journal you would like. And again, you can just wrap those up. And all right, let's go to a different one. So this one is a little less traditional with the red and green, and it's more of a cozy, natural hearth type picture on the Christmas card. So I added some gold beads. These are like brass beads, vintage pearl beads, and again some glass pony beads on natural raffia. And this card was giving me a little bit of a problem. It wanted to start peeling. The front looked like it was different than the back of the card. It came in one of those sets where it was all different types of cards. So I just added a little coordinating washi tape, glued it down. Make sure you put a little bit of permanent glue so it'll stay, otherwise it'll peel right off. So yeah, so that was this one. And it looks really nice. Now you have Merry Christmas down the side. When you open it up, I used, again, lined this to make it a little thicker. I used the envelope from this card as a front pocket so that it coordinated, because the envelope doesn't fit inside because it's a little bit bigger. A little sparkly notebook with some scrapbook paper and some gold metallic punch outs. It's just a little tea-dyed jot book that you can either leave those hang out or you can tuck them in if they get pesky. I found an envelope in my stash that is wood grain, so then I used that because I thought it matched really well. And then some little tags that I put in here as well. This one is a little stenciled to look like the rock from the fireplace. And I put the little two stockings, and the scrapbook paper just happened to have the same, you see that? The same little vintage holly across the top. So I just tried to make a tag that looked similar to the front of the card. This was just having a little play and a little fun in journaling at Christmas, a little relaxing. Make yourself a nice cup of a hot beverage and go for it. Some craft paper, some other non-traditional papers that you know, not your traditional red and green, some lined paper. Gotta have that music page in there. All of these seem to go really well with the theme of the card. A little extra of the stonework, and then I added some little gold paint to the top of my stencil when I was all done with it. You can kind of see it. Little gray snowflakes. Here is now the middle of the signature, as you can see. And I just used a couple of these super long Christmas list pads that I had and folded it, as you can see, not quite in half, but just so that it makes a nice backdrop. Slides right into that pocket. Made a notebook, and if you look at the pockets, I found a little bit of stone scrapbook paper that I turned into pockets for the middle of this one. Just some craft paper that I turned into a little jot book, a little notebook. And I like to do the, I like to leave them open sometimes over the top just to fill it in. And then I made a little tiny pocket here and added some little pieces that go in and out there. A little tag, and again another piece of paper that matches the size of that. So it just makes a nice little, when you open it, a nice little middle of the signature. And then again, we go back through, and instead of doing it exactly the same, I just moved the stone around a little bit for interest. Added a little stone tab on this one. Took a piece of extra gold metallic, to just give it a little stiffness to make the papers easier to turn. And now we're to the back where you can see the lining of that wooden envelope there, as well as a nice little tag. This is not removable. I just put it in there to coordinate, give the page a little interest. I thought that was pretty fun. I liked the picture of the front of the card on here. I'm not a fan that it's red, but I didn't think it was worth covering up, so I left it the way it was. Added the corners as the little scraps left over from the front jot book, and then it tends to coordinate all the way through. And then the very back, I used the same plaid from the inside and put a few tags. This is just a little meet me under the mistletoe. And then I just made a little, I don't know if you can see this, but it's like a pearlized piece of a card that I had extra after cutting it, and added more of the holly and a little rubber stamp for the holidays. And I thought those coordinated a little bit. Sometimes I tend to get a little bit too focused on coordinating everything, and other times I just go for it. When I first pulled this card, I didn't really like it because this brown is really not very Christmassy, and this bird was, I don't know, I just wasn't a fan until I actually started working with it and found that by adding beads that matched the bird, it really changed the look of the whole card. And again, raffia tag. I double up when I do mine, just because if you notice, that doesn't, I don't think that hangs very well. So if you just wrap it that second time, so if you're doing one for yourself, just wrap it that extra time. It just hangs a little bit nicer. Just unwrap it. It just takes a quick second to get it unwrapped. And each one of them I attached a different way. So sometimes they wrap around this way, sometimes they wrap around that way. It just all depends on what I'm feeling like and if the piece of raffia is cut in the right direction. All right, let's open it up and take a quick little peek. Again, use some craft paper to try to blend the colors in a little bit. Added a belly band with a little writing spot in there using the holiday, it's one of those see-through stickers with the holiday beads, or seeds, berries, that's the word, to make it a little more Christmassy. I don't know if you can see this sticker. Again, it's a transparent sticker, but it has a little bird. I think the light has changed a little bit, or the sun went behind a cloud, so things are looking a little dark. I apologize. The envelope that I put in this one has that little vintage card, and then a little card with some birds and snowflakes and sticks to pull the bird theme in a little bit. I didn't do bird all the way through, but adding a few touches of bird I thought was going to make this card a little more interesting. Of course, your traditional book page. I added a little bit more of those berries and sticks to kind of draw the theme together. Some lined paper for notes. Used a few of the same embellishments all the way through, so you can, there's a little continuity through the book. Again, like I said, I love using different size papers. It gives just some interest, and so it's not just a page after page of the same. I had a little bit left of this scrapbook paper with the birds, and so I thought instead of doing two pockets like I normally do, I would do a little pocket and a tuck. One has a little birdie, and then I stamped this as a tag. Again, another piece of that folded list paper. I thought that looked pretty, just tucked in there. Anything can be tucked in there. Here's the other side of that page. Oh, I take it back. This was the envelope for this card, and it wasn't going to fit in here, so I thought, well, I'll take the front of the envelope off. I'll cut it and turn it into a page, and there's our little birdie from the front. Okay, and then we get to the back, and there we go. I loved this. This was in color, and so I just left it the way it was. And again, put a nice little tag in there for this one. All right, and let's just do one more. And I will save the others for another day. Okay, here is another traditional Christmas tree. It reminds me of the one in the Walnut Room, downtown Chicago, if any of you have ever been there. And again, vintage bead or vintage pearls and some glass pony beads. And again, just a natural raffia to set off the look of the card. And as this one, you can see it's got a little tag in there, but I liked how it stuck up out of the top. This one was printed inside of the card, and it was a little bit awkward to put anything in. So I thought, well, I'm just going to put a nice little greeting inside, leave the border of the Christmas tree from the front, and try something new. It's all about creating with this. Obviously, the front of the little polka dot glittery metallic envelope, some tea-dyed paper, some note paper. Again, getting to use some of the non-traditional colors, some ornaments on the lined paper. Again, the Christmas tree theme without it actually being the same as the front. And again, I use 6 to 8 page signatures, just depends on, I want the books to coordinate and look like they all match. So I try to find whatever I can to, and that's how I decide how many pages go in here. Again, those folded up pieces of lined paper. This was one of those little, in the scrapbook paper, you get the tags and cards, and didn't know what to do with it. So I thought, well, I'll turn it into just a little jot book. That looked pretty sweet in there. Oh, it doesn't go that way. Okay, just a little tag. Added the greenery in here. Thought that would be a nice coordinating touch. Again, more lined paper. I tried to take little ornament stickers and run them throughout where I could. If you can see that. This is a little music note tag with some stars to match the Christmas tree on the front, and then a line of ornaments from the scrapbook paper. And I thought leaving that out the top would be kind of cute, like the top of a Christmas tree. Again, just some natural papers. And then at the back is where the envelope is on this one, so I try to do them all different. And a tag and some more foil paper, because we love that foil cardstock paper. This is just a little piece of washi tape that I stuck down. The greeting was just fine. I liked how it looked. It's green and gold. Whoops, it matched pretty well, so I left it the way it is. If you want to sign this, and when you give this, then they can just use a piece of paper from somewhere in the journal and cover it up if they don't want people reading it, and put a tag in it or something. And then the back I just covered with, again, I love this gold foil paper because it seemed like it coordinated very well with the front of this. So, well, these are just a few more of the Christmas card junk journal ideas. The link to my Etsy shop is below if you want to purchase one. If not, they're just little ideas for you to use while you're making them and crafting for the holidays. So I hope you have a great day. Keep crafting, and we'll see you next time.